can't take it. Can't take anymore. Were you showing the B-roll? Show the B-roll. Show the B-roll. This is important. Let me try it again. No. Sometimes you love them. Sometimes you want to punch them. That's just life. That's love, right? So this is CBS doing an investigation and uncovering never-before-seen photographs in Epstein's cell that raise even more questions. Now remember, just to get our timeline set, Epstein died when Trump was president the first time, and now Trump's president the second time, and is actively campaigning against transparency. That sounded very Candace Owens of me. I'm not saying he did anything on the kill. I wasn't saying he's killing him. That sounded insane. These are two separate thoughts. Epstein died. Trump wanted him to die. Two separate thoughts completely. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just getting the timeline set because MAGA will be like almost playing into the idea that he died during Biden's term. I just wonder, that was back during Trump's first term. Okay. So the official story is that he killed himself. And we now have never before seen things that continue to be confusion inducing.
We're going to turn now to a CBS News exclusive, an investigation related to the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS News has obtained 90 jail cell photos from the day Epstein was found dead, some of which have never before been seen publicly. Scott McFarland joins us now from Washington with more on this. Scott, what's in the photos? Good morning.
Hey, Tony, good morning. The photos were taken by New York's Office of Chief Medical Examiner, and they raise more questions than they answer. Epstein's body was removed before investigators arrived. In Epstein's cell, experts say, should have been treated.
Okay, point one. Huh? This is what Jaden did off camera. Huh? Huh? Before investigators arrived, they moved the body? I've watched enough true crime shows to know that it's crucial that two officers raise the little police tape as the detective walks under it and walks up to a body and goes, wow, that was a bad night. As he looks down, or she, at the dead body. And then, as a viewer, you're like, ew, how'd they make it look like a real dead body? I've watched enough to know the body's supposed to be there. Who moved the body? Okay. And just so you know, the reason I started the segment like this was because I don't like feeling this way. I even went through multiple times and said, there's plenty of compelling evidence that this was a suicide. It's just, why are there so many confusing parts of it? I'm so sick of these dumb conspiracy theorists on everything. They're just, blah, 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 blah. Everything is a conspiracy. And then this story breaks and you're like, I don't even know what to say.
Before investigators arrived in Epstein's cell, experts say, should have been treated as a crime scene. And by all appearances, it was not. On the morning of August 10th, 2019, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan. This was the vow of then Attorney General Bill Barr.
We will get to the bottom of what happened, and there will be accountability.
Epstein's death was quickly ruled a suicide. But an investigation of jail cell photos by CBS News, working with forensic experts, has raised serious questions about the New York Medical Examiner and the FBI's work, including a failure to preserve the scene, log evidence, and run basic forensic tests. There are 90 photos in all, showing a cell strewn with blankets and strips of fabric tied to the bed and window grate. Items moved around, including a mattress, which is seen on the floor in an earlier photo, but appears on the bed in a later one. Looking at the metadata, that second photo appears to have been taken at 11:02 a.m. If that's accurate, the scene had been disturbed hours before FBI investigators arrived. Investigators also found several possible nooses, but did not conclusively identify the one that killed him. What do you make of all these pictures?
All right, then we'll watch this guy. But why, all those photos, why does he have like 12 outfits in his cell? Like, there's a pile of orange jumpsuits. Hey, here's enough fabric to hang yourself 12 times. Don't do it. We're going to be really mad at you, Jeff, if you try to kill yourself. Here's 12 outfits for you.
Killed him. What do you make of all these pictures?
I make a crime scene gone wrong.
Herman Weisberg is a former NYPD detective turned private investigator. Does it look to you like this was investigated as a suicide or as a murder?
To me, this looks like they took it at face value that this was a suicide.
While our investigation did not contradict the official determination of suicide, it does raise questions about what was done to rule out the possibility of murder.
If you realize that you've got a high-profile person that may or may not have committed suicide, but you need to prove that to people, this is not adequate as far as I'm concerned.
We've reached out to the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, as well as former and current staff involved in the investigation, the FBI and the Department of Justice. All declined to comment, or Tony simply did not respond.
We did get one response back from, I guess this is Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, in the form of a voice message.
He killed himself.
Okay, thank you. But we did not hear back from Kash Patel. Now, nobody even entertains my theory that it was, what would he have been at that time? 16-year-old Barron Trump who did it. No one even entertains it. But there's actually a lot of pieces that pair together. He's a tall guy. That connects somehow. He's Trump's son. He was young, so maybe he could get maybe his arms were skinny, he could get to unlock things. But he was kind of tall for his age, so he had strength and he could... And he owned a lot of extra orange jumpsuits, some people say, to kind of flash orange for his dad. Think about all the technical... This is not serious. Just be careful, okay? Careful out there. Think about the technical anomalies, right? The orange blob across the screen, the missing minute, the missing 3 minutes, now the missing minute again. You would need someone, a part of the conspiracy, who was really good with computers.
But is Barron's aptitude, in your view, business or politics?
Maybe technology. He can look at a computer. I'd try turning off his car, turn it off. I'd turn off his laptop. I said, oh, good. Now. And I go back 5 minutes later, he's got his laptop. I said, how'd you do that? None of your business, Dad. No, he's got an unbelievable aptitude in technology.
So he's really good with computers. He could have hacked into the cameras and deleted the footage. I mean, if he can turn on a computer after it gets turned off, what can he not do with computers? So I don't know. Look into Barron. That's my... No, I'm kidding. But it is just utterly... I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever know why, even if it's just suicide, but why there were also neck breaks that were kind of a little much for how you would try to do it to yourself. And why did the body get moved? Was a guard just oh, well, shoot. All right, here, grab him, drag him, throw him in the dumpster. What? Who moved him so quickly? You got to see what it's like. They don't even know which noose was the noose. Why wouldn't you write that down?
Well, he's dead, so...
Hey, Bill, shut up for a second. Why wouldn't you jot it down somewhere? Hey, it was this noose. But there's just multiple... Also, who does that? It's like someone looking at the wigs and picking which wig they're going to wear for the day. He made 4 nooses and was like, which one do I want to use for my death? Something's weird. And I don't like us asserting things that we don't know. So I'm not asserting anything other than the Barron porn. I'm not asserting anything. We can't be conspiracy theorists, but we can say, what the hell happened to Epstein?
What the hell happened to
Epstein? Again, if a single one of you goes, why are you laughing? It's serious. That's the point. This is very serious. And we only laugh so that it's not too stressful. Gosh. So seriously, this is horrible. And the lack of transparency on the files themselves is a part of why this continues to be so relevant. We still have not seen full justice, and full justice requires full transparency, and the survivors are begging for it, and Trump's campaign promoted it, then Trump's administration did, and still we have them fighting against, leading to even Rogan saying this.
The Epstein list, they keep voting against that.
Right.
Talk about a bad list. The list of people who said, let's protect people who like have done horrific shit to kids. You don't want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51 to 49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51 to 49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party lines, with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh, wait, not both sides. It was the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Yeah, so just fun times with Rogan. He misread it, but he'll correct himself. Where you been? You haven't heard the whole story about how all Democrats are voting over and over to release them as Republicans blocking it? How do you even misread that? How do you not know? Okay, it's okay. Love, come over here.
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party lines. Let's ask Perplexity. Why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was gonna. There's Eric Swalwell, who's I guess.
I read it wrong. No. Okay. So the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans fought against it. Okay. I fucked that up. So 51 to 49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Yeah. This is the hopeful part. I think they're coming out. Eventually, Mike Johnson's going to have to swear in Adelita Grijalva. Republicans, there's reporting, are going to vote once it comes up for a vote next time. They've been saying they're a no, but a lot of them, so that they're not on the record again. When it actually passes, they want to be able to say, I voted for it to pass. Every time, or the time when it counted. 6th time is the charm when it comes to the Epstein files. And so I think it's going to end up getting released. And we'll just see. And we'll soberly assess. And hopefully it does lead to more justice.